Hello friends, today I'm going to tell you a story named The Nutcracker. A nutcracker is a wooden or metal tool for cracking nutshells. When this story was written, nuts were a special Christmas treat. Some nutcrackers were even shaped like dolls and even as presents. This is tale of a rather unusual nutcracker doll. A soft, fluffy layer of snow covered Clara's house on Christmas Eve. Inside, the party was in a full swing, but one very special guest hadn't arrived. Clara watched for him at the window. Suddenly, there was a loud knock on the door. "He's here!" she cried, and dancing over the flinging opened the door. It was Clara's godfather. She gave him a big hug. "What a warm welcome on such a chilly night," he said with a chuckle. Clara loved her godfather visits. Something magical always happened when he was around. "I have a very special present for you this year," he told Clara as he placed a package under the tree. The night Clara couldn't sleep, she lay in the bed thinking about her present. "I can't hurt if I just have a little peek," she thought. Finally, Clara tiptoed downstairs. She soon found the present tied up with a big red bow. On the ribbon there was a tag with a message. "Merry Christmas, Clara. I hope this protects you with love from your godfather." "I wonder what godfather means," thought Clara. Slowly, Clara untied the bow and folded back a corner of the paper. Inside, she found a wooden nutcracker doll dressed like a soldier. Just then the clock struck midnight. Clara gave an enormous yawn. In a few minutes, she was fast asleep under the tree. Clara woke up with a start, feeling very confused. She couldn't remember where she was, and her doll had vanished. Out of the corner of her eye, Clara thought she was something leaping around. Frightened, she dared behind the present, and here the tree rested behind her. Clara spun around. "Don't be afraid, Clara. I won't hurt you said a friendly voice. Clara was astonished. Her doll had come to life. "I'm the Nutcracker Prince," he said with a bow, "and I am here to protect you. The kitchen mice are plotting to kidnap you." The prince pulled out of his whistle and gave a shrill blow. At once, the lid of the toy box flew open and a long line of the toy soldiers marched out. Standing in rows, they the prince. "Attention!" he cried. "Clara needs our help. Prepare yourself for battle, men. Wheel out the cannons." Mice began to appear in the shadow. Slowly they crept closer. Clara hid behind the prince. "Steady, men, steady!" he shouted. "Wait for the signal and fire." Huge lumps of cheese flew from the cannons and struck down with several mice. Some lumps landed in the corners, and the other mice scampered after them. "Excellent work, men!" roared the prince as the last mouse vanished. "But bravo!" said an evil voice from the shadows. A mouse wearing crown and eye and patch appeared. "That's the Mouse King," the prince whispered to Clara. "Is she the best you can do?" jeered the king. "It takes more than that to beat me. Now hand over the gold." "I'd rather die," said the prince. "That can be arranged," the Mouse King sneered. Soon the prince and the mouse were locked in the battle. Their swords clanked as they danced around the room. The disaster struck. The prince tripped on a lump of cheese and sprawled on the floor, seizing his chance, and the Mouse King put his sword to the prince's neck. "Well, well, I, I am going to enjoy this," he said, laughing. As the Mouse King pulled back his sword, Clara wiped off her shoes and threw it hard as she could. At his head, he fell in a heap on the ground, knocked out cold. Clara rushed over to the prince. "Are you all right?" she cried. "Yes, thanks to you," he said. "We must celebrate," he added as Clara helped him up. "I know just the palace." The prince led Clara to a golden sleigh behind the Christmas tree and helped her aboard. "Off we go, boys!" the prince called to his 4 reindeer. As they gathered speed, the sleigh started to rise up into the air. They rolled out through an open window and into the night. After some time, they came to a forest covered with crisp white snow. "We're nearly at our first stop," the prince announced. "Hold on, we're going down." The snow crunched under the reindeer feet as they landed. Just then, a beautiful lady dressed in sparkling white appeared among the trees. "Clara, I'd like you to meet my good friend, the Ice Queen," said the prince. "What a lovely surprise!" exclaimed the queen. The queen them to her icy palace, which glistened in a moonlight. Inside, icicle chandeliers hung from every ceiling. You arrived in time for the dances, said the queen as they walked into grand ballroom. A piano began to play, and eight ballerinas, dressed in silver and white, twirled into the middle of the room. They twinkled like a snowflakes as they spun around. I always remember this, whispered Clara to the prince as the music came to an end. After a game of catch with the palace poodle, it was time to leave. Do we really have to go? Said Clara. Yes, we really do, said the prince. There's someone else I want to meet you. We don't have much time. Goodbye. Clara gasped. When they reached their next stop, the trees were bursting with marshmallows, blossoms, and lollipop. Flowers sprouted from the ground. The Clara. Then Clara saw that the mountains were topped with melted chocolate and milkshake. River flowed down. Where are we? She asked, amazed. The land of sweets, the prince replied. Before them stood a huge marzipan castle decorated with all kinds of treats. Watch the wobbly chairs, whispered the prince as Clara sat down. They made of raspberry mousy. Clara ate until she thought she'd pop. After the feast, a band struck up. The dancers from around the world performed for Clara. First came the dance of chocolate and Spanish pear spoon around to snapping castanets. Next came the exotic dance of coffee, a beautiful Arabic princess danced with smooth, swirling movements in time to soft, soothing music. The third group of dancers had come all the way from China to entertain everyone with their tea dance. Many more dances followed, each one showing something good to eat or drink. But the final dance was very different. A group of ballerinas, all dressed as flowers, performed a slow waltz for Clara. Their arms unfolded gracefully like petals of flower as they weaved in and out of reach another. And now I am afraid it's time for us to go home, said the prince sadly. Thus, Clara climbed into the sleigh and waved goodbye to Sugar Plum Fairy. Thank you for an amazing evening, Nutcracker Prince, said Clara with a yawn. She was so tired that she fell asleep on the shoulder. When Clara woke up, she was back under the Christmas tree and Prince was gone. Only her doll was laid beside her. Oh, it was only a dream, she cried but it seemed so real. Just then, Clara spotted the tag that her godfather had attached to her present. I hope this protects you, it said. I wonder if that means he knew the Nutcracker Prince would rescue me, thought Clara. Maybe it wasn't just a dream. Thank you. Subscribe, like, and share our videos. Thank you.